Since the iPhone XR first came out, people have been asking Apple to drop the price. And they've finally done that. Kind of, not really, and it's only for a limited time anyway. For those of you who are not familiar with the current iPhone lineup, we have the iPhone XS and then XS Max, which is just a bigger version of the XS, and those are your premium iPhones starting at $1,000 and $1,100. Then you have the quote budget model, the iPhone XR, starting at $750, and the XR takes a lot of hits in a lot of areas. It drops the OLED screen for an LCD screen, which, although it has a fancy name, I can tell no difference between the Liquid Retina and the Retina HD on other iPhones in terms of display quality. It only has a single lens camera. It dumps the stainless steel for aluminum. There's just a lot of hits that the iPhone XR takes in the quality department, and quite frankly, it should be a lot cheaper than it is. $750 is just kind of expensive for the number of hits that it's taken, if you know what I'm saying. And fact is, these phones are not selling well, which is not all that surprising because although the 10 did sell well, there are still a lot of people that are not willing to pay $1,000 for a phone. They're just not. And the XR, for a lot of people, especially even techie people that aren't willing to pay $1,000 for a phone, kind of feel cheated by the XR because it drops so much, but it's $750. It's still a ton of money for a phone. It should be a lot cheaper than that. So people have been asking for a long time for Apple to drop the prices on all of the current 2018 iPhone models, especially since we know that they're not selling very well at all. And it seems like they've kind of paid attention to that a little bit, but not really. It's weird. The iPhone XR starting at $450. I think, in my opinion, $450 is a great deal for this phone. The only problem is it's not really a price drop to $450. It's if you trade in your current iPhone, you can get the iPhone XR for $450. That makes sense for some people because a lot of people, they're replacing their current phone with the XR. I guess that's what Apple's trying to get people to do, so it makes sense in that sense. I just said sense twice in the same sentence, but if you do want to keep your old phone, then you're going to be paying $750 for the XR, and this is only limited time, so I presume that it is through the holidays only. That would be my guess. Not really sure on that. They don't really give a time frame. Now, unfortunately, there's only a deal for the XR here. If you don't want the XR, if you want to go up to the XS, you're still going to be paying the $1,000, or if you're super special, $1,100 for the XS and XS Max. But if you think about it, it kind of does make sense because the XS and XS Max are Apple's premium phones, and the XR is their budget phone. So if you're going to be buying a premium phone, you're probably willing to pay $1,000, if you get what I'm saying. If you're not willing to pay $1,000, maybe you're not looking for a premium phone, and I'm not saying that like in a bad way. I'm just saying it's probably the way Apple was thinking with this. If you're looking for the XS, you're looking for a premium phone, and you're willing to pay a premium for it. iPhone XR is a budget phone, and $750 is pretty steep for budget, so it makes sense to drop the price there. But again, if you're looking at the XS and XS Max, you're probably willing to pay more anyway, so no price drop with those. Now, honestly, I'm thinking this is actually a really good idea on Apple's part in terms of this price drop. We're calling it a price drop. It's not really. It's kind of a special offer because you have to trade in your other phone. But it's a great way to, I think, get people to upgrade their iPhones over the holidays. That's where you're typically going to sell a lot of Apple stuff anyway, just from relatives, things like that. Specifically, parents buying phones for their kids, which I think is going to be big with the XR because that's the budget. Parents usually not going to buy a $1,000 phone for their kid. That you're just not going to do that. And so if they can get the XR for $450 with a trade-in, then maybe they're willing to upgrade their kid's phone, if you know what I'm saying. There's just a lot of different holiday opportunities that come out of this. And so I think it's a great way for Apple, especially since these phones weren't selling well anyway, to try and push some XR sales through the holidays. We'll have to see how effective it really is. I don't really know how well it's going to work. But if you are looking to pick up an iPhone XR and you're wanting to replace the current phone you have with a XR, I think now is definitely the time to do it because later it's $750, which is just too much for what the XR is $450 is a much better deal, I think, if you're willing to do the trade-in. So I definitely advise you do that. So anyways, you guys comment down below what you think about this special offer type thing. Do you think it should have been cheaper? And do you think that this offer should stay as the regular kind of price for the iPhone XR? And maybe you think that the XS should get a price drop as well. I would personally love to see some kind of XS offer or price drop. I explained why I don't think that's happening, but I'm not saying I don't want that. I would definitely want that because I'm definitely in the premium phone market and would love to have the XS, but I also don't want to pay $1,000 for a phone. I'm in that zone. So just let me know any thoughts you have. I like to read through and respond to all the comments. Like if you want to see more tech content in the future from me. But if you dislike, I ask that you let me know why, because otherwise I'm going to ignore that and not really care. And of course you can subscribe if you want some more juicy stuff, especially Smash Ultimate is coming up on Friday, guys. It's going to be awesome. See you later. Bye-bye.